Hi, it's Gary. Welcome to today's video. Today, I'm going to be doing a video based on something a lot of people keep asking. Where do my pens come from? Now, I will be upfront. I've had a number of pens that have been gifted to me from viewers, which I very much appreciate. So obviously that's one source. But the main source is pens that I buy. So let's look, where do I go when I'm looking for a pen? So first up, so here we've got AliExpress. So all I do is I would come in here and I would type the name of the pen that I'm looking for. So let's say we're going to look for a Mastodon P139. Just trying to think of a pen name then. So this gives me a whole load. Then what I'll be doing is I'll spend some time going through these. So let's just open that one up just for the sake of it. And I would be comparing different entries. The idea is to work out which ones are cheapest, but also bearing in mind postage. So I make sure if there's postage that I take that into account. So that's the first site. Next up, I'm just going to close these sites as we go through them. Hit refreshing. Here we've got Temu. Now I do find, certainly here in Australia, Temu doesn't have a lot of pens on there. But let's use that same one, a Mastodon P139. Doesn't have anything. Oh, jewellery, but a Mastodon as in the game. It's interesting. So I haven't actually bought a pen from Temu. I do look all the time though. Again, I'm comparing them in price to AliExpress. So that's Temu. Next up, eBay. Good old eBay. So let's do the same. Mastodon P139. So here we've got eBay. Again, we've got a number of different pens on here. So what I'd be doing is comparing a price on eBay to AliExpress. I tend to always get them from AliExpress, but I have had a couple of pens from eBay. Now I know in the US, there's a number of people get their pens from Amazon. Here in Australia, that's very limited. So they're like my Chinese pens. Next up, I'm going to look at Australian pens. So the first site, make sure I accept that, Just Turnings. So this is Stephen Just. He's based over in Brisbane. I've got a number of his pens. So justturnings.com.au, that's a website. And as he says, all prices are displayed in Australian dollars. The next one, Casey Giddens. So Pens by Casey. So here we go with this one. Yes, I know I'm using Instagram on here. He generally uses Instagram or Facebook. He doesn't have a website. So he can be contacted through there. And he's often putting up pictures there, just like Stephen does on Facebook, of his latest creations. So that's Pens by Casey. Up next, this is a smaller maker. He's still very much in the learning phase. He's been mentored by both Stephen Just and Casey Giddens. Rod Roncari or Roncari pens. So again, this is on Instagram. This is the only place where I've seen them. So here he's showing his pens, showing what he's making. And again, you can contact him through Instagram. Next up, we go to That Pen Bloke, another one with a website. He's also got an Instagram page. So again, I'm just going down here showing you some stuff. So there we are, thatpenbloke.com. I've only got the one pen by him at the moment, so I do need to invest in some more. They are very nice pens. So that's Australia. Now we'll look at pens that I've been getting from India. At the moment, I'm focusing a lot on Indian pens. So the first one is Ranga. I've got a couple of Ranga pens. So here we go, just going down here so you can see some of the different stuff. This is rangapens.com. One thing I like with Ranga, it's the choice. They give you a massive load of different colours. They've got ebonite, they've got acrylics, they've got nibs that they do themselves, that they get from Yoho and from Bock. And I'm not certain, I can't remember, I think they were doing Cyprus one. Let's go and have a look, see if we can see if they're doing a Cyprus nib. Just wait while my slow internet loads this. There we go. So here, all them different colours on this particular model. And then here we've got all the different nib choices. So there's Bock, Yoho, Schmidt. You can get without a nib and with the different threadings. Then back, there we go with the Ranga ones. Titanium nibs. Here we go, and gold nib. So massive choice. That's what I do like with Ranga. Our next Indian pen, this is Click. So this is a fairly new maker that I'm into. Again, here's a number of their different models. Not the wide varieties you get with Ranga, but really nice pens, really interesting pens. And I'm really enjoying using the ones I've bought. So that's clickpens.in. CanWrite. So here we've got the CanWrite pens. Now this one, you've got to be a bit careful. Google, oh, well, not Google, search for CanWrite pens. The website is Canpur, K-A-N-P-U-R, writers.com. So a bit confusing. Again, CanWrite's got some really interesting pens. Different nib units. The one that I'm looking at getting, what I'm saving for, is, if I can find it, this Mammoth X. Just open that up. These are big pens, but they're a bit more expensive. You know, again, let's just select one. So you've got plenty of options available. So here we can choose a material for the nib. So I want it steel finish and I want a broad nib. So 175. So you can go there and go 14 karat gold. So you've got a bit of choice there. So that's the Indian pens. Now, one thing I noticed with India is they tend to put their prices up in US dollars. At the moment here, that's looking like it's Australian dollars, but most of them it's US dollars. They also add shipping. Some of them pay a little bit towards the shipping, but you've also got shipping to put on top. And most of them, I believe, just use PayPal. Just dropping in to interrupt your regular programming. Would you like to help support the channel? If so, please consider joining as a member. As a member, you'll get early access to my videos. I normally upload them a couple of days before they go out, and as soon as they're uploaded, they'll be released to members. There'll also be a shout out at the end of the videos, and then as we get the members coming in, we'll actually chat among ourselves and work out what other perks, what other things you'd like me to add in. You know, would you like maybe a monthly live chat just for members? All down to us. So please, if you can, consider joining the channel. A link will be in the description down below. So now we're going to go on to the mainstream shops. The first one, Pulp Addiction. This is over here in Australia. This is based over near Melbourne. So here we go. Just quick look on their front page. Loads of different pens, loads of different options. Staying in Australia, we've got Desk Bandit. So this is over here in Perth. It's the other side of Perth to where I live. So again, lots of options here. These do colourverse inks, so most of my colourverse inks when I buy them I get from here. Then there's a new one on the market I've used already last year. So and So. Here I've used them more for paper, but they do pens and they do different ones. So this Taisho, I've not heard of them before. And then here, so we've got all sorts of things. Just a little scroll down there for you so you can get an idea. So that's the last of the Australian stores. Over to the UK, Cult Pens. So this is one where I used to buy a lot of my stuff from Cult Pens because it was cheaper to buy it from there than it was to buy it in Australia. Nowadays, I'm finding Cult Pens and Australian prices, they're about the same. I think that's more down to exchange rates than anything else. Cult Pens have got a massive range. Diamine inks, I got virtually all my Diamine inks from Cult Pens. And up to 2 years ago, that's where I got my Inkvent calendars from. I now get them from Pulp Addiction because Pulp Addiction's slightly more expensive, but it's here in Australia. You know, at the end of the day, where possible, I want to support Australian companies. What I do with Cult Pens is I wouldn't go in there and buy one thing. What I do is I save up my order until I've got quite a number because I want to take advantage of their free shipping level. Now here to Australia, we have to spend at least 250 Aussie dollars. You can see the prices in Aussie dollars, which is what I do. Still in the UK, we've got Pure Pens. So this is a family-run store, whereas Cult Pens isn't. There we go. Bought a couple of pens from here and some inks. They do their own ink line, which is really, really nice. Really like that. They do international shipping, which again, important living here. The 2 times I've bought from there, I've had to pay for shipping, but it was really, really reasonable. They do all sorts. Retro 51. I bought from here a Sailor. The inks. I really love their inks. They're really nice. Then the final place, over in the Netherlands, we've got Appleboom. From here, I tend to get my more expensive pens. At the moment, it's showing prices there in euros, but what I can do is I can change it to Aussie dollars. So just select that, just wait while it loads. There we go. So now we can see the prices here in Aussie dollars. I find again there's a nice choice, certainly for the more expensive pens. So my things like my Homo sapien came from there, my Pelican M1000. They tend to have really good prices. And what I do, they have occasional sales. So with this, I'll wait till they have a sale. I also make sure when I order from there that I bulk my order up so that I can hit the free shipping level. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. So what do you think of the places where I go and get my pens from? Are there ones that you think I should look at? Please drop your comments, drop your suggestions down below. Let's kickstart the conversation. Please hit that thumbs up button every time you like, every time you comment, just helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so that you can get new videos as I release them. I'll talk to you again soon.